tomato, lettuce, blah, blah, blah. It was a mouthgasm. It was so good. I asked for him to cook it medium, and it was actually pink in the middle. So that's actually, for me, a huge thing.
Huge?
Yes, it was a huge thing.
Huge or huge?
Huge!
Okay.
With an H.
Hold on, we have a caller.
Ooh, hi, caller.
I have to try to figure out how to turn this on. Hello? Well, I'm bad about that kind of crap. So we're talking about local businesses at this point.
Hi, Doug.
So Cowboys Up, good restaurant, really good restaurant. They actually have dance lessons, country line dancing, I think. When we were there that night, they had karaoke. The manager there is just awesome. She just was really friendly, really nice. Actually had a really nice voice, too, because she sang a little bit. So that's a really good restaurant if you are in Apache Junction and you want to go to have some decent food, you want to learn how to line dance or any of that kind of crap. Right? Some of the other businesses, of course, we got Rosati's in Gold Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, they make a good pie. Oh, really, really good pies. And when I say pie, I'm talking about pizza, by the way.
It's so huge, too. I mean, honestly, they actually bring it out on this little,
the peach is huge.
Stand. It's like on a little metal stand in the middle of your table.
Yeah. And then we have some of the local automotive stuff because everybody needs tires occasionally. There's up on the trail is it Arizona Tire Man?
Tireman, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. They changed the front tires on our RV. They gave us 4 new tires for our car. That was pretty cool of them to do that. And of course, you've got some. They're building the new Fry's Marketplace up on the trail in Idaho. That's going to be a while before we get to that. But always look at your local businesses, the ones that are small businesses. Help support your small businesses because I guarantee. Well, we forgot to mention the meat slicer.
I was just thinking
okay.
the
meat slicer. It is a sub sandwich shop up on the trail, and it is just wow. I mean,
it's like a whole
$10 and you get like a whole cow on bread. I mean, it's just a huge sandwich. And it was really good. It was fresh bread. It was fresh meat. It was really good. So that's a place you got. It's called the Meat Slicer. It's up on the trail. It's probably 50 yards from Arizona Tireman.
Scott, you and I had to actually split
We had to split a sandwich because it was so big.
We
couldn't eat it.
We didn't believe Krista, who actually is one of the owners of Arizona Tireman. We didn't believe her when she said, "Oh, the sandwich is so big." We're like, "Okay, yeah, everybody's idea of big is different." So we went there, and
it was huge. It was one.
We literally had to put half of it in a bag and bring it home. We didn't even eat the chips. I mean, the sandwich was so fucking huge, but it was so good.
Yes, it was. Yeah, so, Arizona Tireman Services, Cowboys Up, Meat Slicer, and Rosati's. 4 really good local businesses that are worth taking your business to. So, keep that in mind if you're ever in Apache Junction or if you live around here. If you don't live around here, then look for some of these types of businesses in your area. Because when you support your local business, you're not supporting some corporate hack that lives across the country. You're supporting somebody that's local, that has their kids in the same school that your kids go to, that shop at the same stores you do. It's a really good impact. So remember
even if that's not all you do, I mean, some people really maybe like one of their local, not local, but like McDonald's or whatever. If you like McDonald's, eat McDonald's, but try to support your local businesses whenever you can. If you can't afford to actually go to a place like Trader Joe's or Sprouts to do all your shopping, go where you have to go, but give whatever money you can to small businesses, even if you can't give it all to it. We understand that, but just do what you can.
We are big supporters of small
them,
business and locals. So, gosh, what else is there? Okay, I found my saved links. Now, this is something I'd like to hear your opinion on, Doug. This past weekend, here in Phoenix and around the country, there was March for Trump. Okay. It was the response to the Women's March from January. Well, they thought it would be a response. It really wasn't.
Tens of
tens of people showed up.
Fuck
at these rallies. Anyway, we actually had a couple of hundred people show up at the state capitol here in Arizona, and they had some news crews down there. Now, one of the things that that was really saddening was they had a guy with the Oath Keepers, which is a militia group down here in Arizona, that said that he can't wait for the liberal genocide to start, and that if we had liberal genocide, that's how we would make our country great. Is that really an American making those comments? I mean, from your standpoint, you served your country, and you served so that we could all have the same rights. Doesn't that kind of violate what the Constitution in America is all about?
Definitely. I served this country, and I believe the oath we took stated that we would defend the Constitution of the United States of America from assaults, foreign and domestic. And what was our First Amendment? Freedom of speech, press, religion, all that good shit. Yeah, it definitely violates everything that the military stands for.
Well, the sad thing is there was actually veterans there that were saying that, you know, get out of my country and all this other stuff. And so you look back to you know, early on where, you know, bring us, you're tired, you're poor, you're you know, suffering, blah, blah, blah. And now it turns into don't bring anybody here because if you don't agree with us, we're going to kick you out anyway. And this is not the country that I seem to remember 20, 30 years ago.
Well, the funny thing is, you know, as bad as it may seem, is now I talk to people all over the world because obviously with my profession, people start noticing. And some of the people I've talked to have even stated that Trump's doing the right thing because obviously it should be harder to get into this country, but they also stated that he's not going about it the right way. To go ahead and ban travel, or at least attempt to, because obviously we know the Supreme Court is ruling that unconstitutional and not allowing it to go through, but they've all stated that it is best that this country is pushing harder for people to get in and to make sure that they're not criminals. But the one thing I've always wondered is these people coming in, they could have fake documents, so how are we going to be able to track if they're actually criminals? These same people could be out and they could have killed somebody. They could have robbed who knows how many places. And how are we to know that when they come in with fake documentation?
Well, I mean, we won't know that unless their country of origin actually tells us that. I mean, it's not like we have access to their criminal records.
Right, but even so, even if we did, fake documents, the government that they had can look at it and say, oh yeah, squeaky clean. And the guy could have actually stolen the documents. So how are we going to enforce anything when we can't even keep an eye on what we're supposed to in the first place?
Right. And the problem is I think that we're spending so much time in our country nowadays looking to try to blame somebody and hold somebody accountable for problems that haven't surfaced yet. When you look at the terrorist attacks in our country over the past 10 years, it hasn't been Muslim extremists that have done all those attacks. Okay, there have been a couple here and there, but for the most part, they're all white Christians that shot up a Planned Parenthood, or what was it, a couple weeks ago, some guy went and gunned down a couple of people that were Indian Americans and told them to go back to their country, and he killed at least one of them. I think two others were in the hospital. And this is starting to become more prevalent in our country, where we have people that are doing stuff like that. And they feel empowered to be able to do that because that's the rhetoric that won the presidency. And
all right, now the one big question I've got on this one is Indian American. Are we talking people from India, or are we talking Native Americans?
not Native Americans.
Pretty kind of.
Not Native Americans.
I was
Indians.
gonna say it's pretty redundant because Native Americans are considered Indians.
Right. No, these were Indian
And
Americans from India.
If you're telling them to go back to their country,
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
tell
we
the
haven't
Native
invaded their
Americans to
country,
go back to their country, and they're like, "You are in our country, bitch." It's just like, come on, really?
right?
Yeah, and
I mean,
that's
we invaded their country.
right. We were invaded. We gave them smallpox. We gave them alcohol. I mean, we've been really good to them over the past
Gave them
200 to
guns.
300 years. But yeah,
Let them shoot each other up. We're good.
and that's one of the things. I mean,
We've
had
done a lot of good for these people.
they had a 13-year-old kid at this rally that said that was talking about some lady apparently who was Jewish and telling this lady who's Jewish to go back to her country. And it's like, okay, well, she's American.
Okay, Israel.
Being Jewish is a religion. It's not a country. If you're Israeli, then you're from Israel. But if you're Jewish, it doesn't mean you're from
There you
Israel.
go.
It means you're Jewish. It's just like,
Pretty much.
what the hell have we been not teaching our kids? This is a 13-year-old kid at a Trump rally.
What we haven't been teaching our kids is accurate American history. And to be honest, we look at when we went back to school. You probably graduated about 10 or 15 years before I did.
I don't know.
We look at. Well, I graduated in 2001.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's been a good 15, 16 years that I graduated high school before you did. You were like 3 when I graduated high school.
Oh. Oh, God. What the fuck?
So, can we honestly say that I was taught actual American history? How about national history? Because we delve back into everything in American history because, holy shit, everything affected us somehow.
Right.
But is it all accurate?
Right. And that's, everybody knows that the winner of conflict is usually the one that writes the history. Now, when I went to school, when I was in high school, like in 7th grade, I had Texas history. And in 8th grade, I had U.S. history. And in 9th grade, I had world history. So there was a constant list of history being taught. I was taught, how the government works. I was taught civics. I participated in Texas Boys State, where 2 students from each school, 2 kids from each school go to Texas Boys State and kind of act like state government. So you get an idea of how state government works. I don't think we do that anymore. Honestly, I don't think we try to teach people how government works anymore. I think we're trying to spend so much time making people afraid of government and subservient to government that we forgot that the people really need to know how government is supposed to operate. And I think that's one of the key problems we have.
The dumber we are, the easier it is for our government to fuck us over.
Right. And to lead us along by the ring in our nose in whatever direction they want us to go.
Pretty much. Me, I don't have any concern in it because I don't really care one way or the other.
Okay, I have
know
a question from the
that
chat
if I'm
room.
to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear the chat question here.
Okay, the question is, how can we be the big brother of the world if we close our borders? And that's a good question. I mean, how can we say that we are the free nation, or that we are the nation of freedoms and personal liberty and all this other crap, and then we close the border for people that we have issue with? It's real simple. Okay,
For people we find undesirable.
the Muslims that are a problem are extremists, not the average person. Okay, just like the Christians that are the problems are the extremists.